Yeah, we're here, and
Mm-hmm.
so the whole world is just going to. So I mean, let's start off with the
It's
fun stuff.
Christmas though.
We got to. I don't care. It's just too.
Listen, I'm a fake it. Like I'm sure Kate used to do. And yes, I said used to.
I'm gonna look. I'm gonna vote for the bastard. I just don't like it, and I'm gonna complain.
Okay.
It's just.
I'm just keeping myself thinking about the fact of what the alternative is, and that's the only thing that keeps me
That's
sane.
that's why I'm voting for him. I don't. And it's not that I don't have sympathy for the people who just can't do it after everything. It's more
I
that
just I don't have
Trump.
energy to be part of I don't have energy to be part of the resistance. I'm too old for that shit.
Yeah, it's also just the sheer fact is that Trump is a destabilizing agent, and he is the man that, on a whim, assassinated a high-ranking Iranian general. Was it the highest-ranking Iranian general?
One of the highest ranking.
And
It was
he's
unnecessary,
also
and no one
the
had a
one
good
who
time.
sparked the Great March of Return by moving the embassy to Jerusalem. And he also said that he would encourage Bibi to finish the job. And I realize that people want to say that it's functionally no different than Biden just letting him do it. But I think to the best case scenario you could say is that they are functionally exactly the same. In which case, it means that the world is going to shit no matter what happens. And I want to be responsible for making it marginally less shitty.
And yeah, it's gonna go to shit in different ways depending on who it is. But let's put it like this. I'd like my careening into chaos. I'd like to buy myself maybe about 10 years, please. Thank you.
I think it's kind of it. I think
I'd
it's
like to
kind
buy my I am 41 years old.
of.
I am just I am just about I'm 41 years old. I am unmarried. I prefer it, and I'm learning more that I prefer it that way.
I
I
am
am not
30 or 40 years old, and I do not
I
need
do
this.
not need this. Basically, yes. I do not need. Basically that has been my entire idea toward a Trump administration. I am 30 or 40 years old, and I do not need this. I don't. I don't. And I think probably if you drill down with a lot of Black women, it does come down to I am blank or blank years old, and I do not need this. We
So,
don't. We're tired.
so let's talk about something marginally fun to
Yeah,
start off,
of
and that
course.
is the Adventures of Kate Middleton.
My inner royal cheese may slut chaos a lot has been fed this week.
She's with David Miscavige's wife.
Bitch, it's looking like it. And let's put it like this: the the astrology girlies know before they realize they know. They're now going through shit and saying they're like, her charts are crazy, girl. She didn't have a shot.
I
They
mean,
not saying she dead, but they saying that it's not good.
I mean, she's probably going through a really bad health crisis right now, or potentially rehab of some sort. Either way, I think the
Yeah,
ironic thing is if they had just come out
and
and
said
done
it.
what and done sort of a limited amount of information and said, "Look, we're going to tell you this much. She is going through a health concern. It is going to take a while. We would appreciate your patience during this time." Then, when all the tabloids are running around, going, where is she? Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? What's going on?" Then the tabloids look like assholes instead of
Yeah,
right now the tabloids just looking like, well, what are they supposed to do? She hasn't been
and
around.
and basically now the buzz from the palaces is the sanctioned royal reporters are like, if only Meghan and Harry were here to deflect everything. I'm like, that's why they motherfucking left. They are not here to be your comrades. They're not. They're not here to soak up your shitty experiences and information. No. And they're like, if only she were no. That's why they left. Right now, she is right now. Harry is midway through writing notes for a speech, probably halfway through a joint and some sunflower seeds, thanking God that he is not.
We made it 4 minutes in before you said cum rags. Like,
I'm sorry. We're gonna get demonetized again, aren't we?
we've never been monetized.
That I almost want to say that should be our slogan. We've never been monetized, and it's entirely my fault. Always my fault. I'm sorry.
I would say that I bear a little bit of blame sometimes
Sometimes
when I get into that distinctly me mood where I'm ranting.
that's true, but at this point, they walked into this. I am enjoying the memes, and the worst one is the one that I just saw. This was painful, and I have to share it. Cited from Twitter because Twitter is a cesspool, and Mama called it Twitter. Mama called it Twitter, so I'ma always call it Twitter. Someone basically said, Charles and Will truly like father, like son. Bumbling bad bitches. Harry could never say that would be me. But the worst one I heard was, this was the worst one though. It hurt my soul. I too would have done a Gone Girl if my bald ass husband cheated on me with someone who looked just like me, but horseier.
Oh
no! Horseier! Camilla ain't even on property, and she caught a stray.
No. Or should I say, nay?
Camilla ain't even on the property and she caught a stray.
God, I hate these people so much.
No, you don't. It's amusing. Listen, right now people are saying, I love doing the people are saying like I'm fucking Donald Trump. Right now, let me see if I can find it once again. Like I said, this is the horribleness. I do this not just for me. I do this for you. Someone tweeted, the Princess of Wales is missing and the Spirit Prince is in exile and the king is treating his cancer with herbs. If this were the 1300s, France would be looking to invade. And I'm like,
oh God.
Ireland.
Ireland.
Ireland can do some funny shit right now, but honestly,
get Cillian Murphy to lead your troops. He is.
I mean, Cillian. Would I don the green for this?
I think Cillian needs to get up on a horse, invade England at the head of an Irish army, and just put an end to it.
And just open the British Museum, make some phone calls, open the British Museum and say, come get your shit. Come get it. Come get it. We don't need it. We good. Come get your shit.
Kenya would be right over, except we're sending Kenyan troops over to Haiti right now. Like, we are spending $300 million to send Kenyan troops into Haiti because I guess because it would look bad if we were holding our own troops in Haiti.
Listen, I just feel like we just need to leave Haiti alone.
If we had the $300 to hire Kenyan troops to go into Haiti for their peacekeeping force, we could have been giving them $300 million.
Yeah, we could have just given Haiti the $300 million. Yeah, it would have gotten a little weird and corrupt, but still.
Instead, I mean, you got people like Elon Musk running with the claim that there's a cannibal gang or cannibal gangs.
Spitting Image did not lie. Spitting Image did not lie about South Africa. I'm sorry. If they gon' if he gonna do his Jimmy Kruger impression, why is our government giving this asshole money? Why are we giving this apartheid holdover, apartheid Clyde, or in the proper Afrikaans, apartheid's neat? Why are we giving this asshole money? This ketamine-addled fool.
I don't know. And it is frustrating. And he's certainly not giving any back in taxes.
Oh no. Oh no. I probably pay more in taxes than Elon Musk.
We do. We definitely do. I mean, we certainly pay more in taxes than Amazon. It's old familiar gripes, but whatever. It
Yeah.
just needs to be aired out every once in a while.
It's the airing of grievances part of Clinchmas.
I think my issue with I think my issue with us in Haiti is just sort of like, are we still doing this? Are we still trying to control how the government is set up? It hasn't. It just keeps getting worse every time we
Every
do.
single time we do this, we should have just stopped 10, 15 years ago and let them figure their shit out.
Well, we couldn't because the leader 15 years ago was marginally anti-U.S., so we had to get rid of him.
Okay?
That's
Haiti being anti-US.
That's the rules.
But in the larger scheme of things, Haiti being anti-US.
I think it's about time. Like I said, I think I would love to be the most epic troll. I wouldn't even say it. I would just, if I were elected president or became president or whatever, I would just be like, hey, Haiti, here's this amount of money that is conveniently exactly the same as the reparations you paid to France. I wouldn't say it was reimbursement for the money to France. I would just say, we're just going to give you this money, Haiti. And then just let France have a fit. Let France have a fit about
block it. Grant. You just block grant that shit. It's just a little block grant between acquaintances. We're not friends. We haven't acted like friends. Yeah. But what's a little block grant between acquaintances?
Yeah.
Just a little old block grant. Just a little old block grant.
If we weren't spending so much of our own money, you and me as working class people, on our health care, and if people like Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and is freaking Richard Branson an American citizen, or is he still Australian? Like, did he become American?
I think he's waiting to see what's gonna happen.
But either way, whatever.
If the monarchy collapses in the next 10 years, it'll be useless.
All of these billionaires and companies don't pay enough in taxes. If we slash the Pentagon budget, had an extremely high rate of taxation on the top marginal income rates, and we could pay all this stuff, one of the things we could afford is not just reparations for like the United States in the form of infrastructure and other things that aren't necessarily direct
marijuana license set-asides.
Yeah,
marijuana license set-asides. I swear to God, the fact that we have not given amnesty and marijuana license set-asides.
Reparations take many forms because you can't necessarily prove direct lineage person to person, which is how most direct money reparations are probably handled. But you can do reparations to make sure that things like, zip codes that are and food that are, poorly maintained with infrastructure, or don't have, or that are food deserts, or have poor education standards, or that don't have enough post offices, don't have enough, yada yada yada. That's kind of
grants for urban farming.
Yes, but the other things we could do is be sending reparations to places like Guatemala or the Congo or Cambodia or Chile or Argentina or fucking Haiti. So that's just a thing.
Just a thought. Just a thought. Just a thought.
Also, it's one of these things that, like, with like Elon Musk going on and on about, oh, the migration, all these people, oh, great replacement. Like, hey, Elon, you know what? If we were to give money, and a lot of money, and help stabilize the areas that we've destabilized, there would be less migration because there wouldn't be as much need for it. Now, the coming climate apocalypse is going to render it moot anyway, but it's just a little bit of reverse psychology for fuckers like that.
The UN tried that on him, on ending world hunger.
Oh, yeah, that was right. Yeah.
That did not work.
Oh, it turns out it can only cost $15 billion. I so. poor Haiti. They're just going to be put through the ringer because of our
Again.
and it's not like it's going to end up great without us.
Listen, it's a leap.
It's this terrible in the first place.
It's a leap year. Shit goes down in Haiti. It's a leap year. Shit goes down in Haiti. It's Tuesday. Shit goes down in Haiti.
Did we ever prosecute the house building scam shit that went down there? Silly me.
Oh, that was funny. That was
Silly
mad funny. That was mad funny. I laughed. I shouldn't have, but I did.
So let's talk a little bit about Biden and the State of the Union. Aside from
all I gotta say is, when you have the bar in hell, it does not take much to walk over it. And Biden jumped over it. He box jumped that shit like he was at like it was a good day for Miss Three Toes at the CrossFit gym in Rome, Georgia. Like, I'm sorry. If you put out the expectation that the man can't take 2 steps without shitting himself, when that seems to be your guy's problem, and he delivers a boilerplate kind of trite barn burner of a speech that was 85% delivery,
and there was a lot of sort of centrist lib fan service going on. The way he kind of, and I don't mean that as a denigration, because I mean that as a legitimate compliment at his skill at re-solidifying a base that is sort of has been waning on him. Not to say that centrist libs were in doubt so much, but they need that enthusiasm.
Listen, they are the 10 p.m. booty call. They know where they are, and they know where they stand, and they know everybody kind of hates them. But you just take them out to dinner once, bitch.
Well, I mean, the way he laid for the second year in a row another trap that the Republicans easily fell into during the speech. I mean, last year it was about Social Security and entitlement cuts, and he played them like a goddamn fiddle. And this year it was essentially the immigration bill. Now, I hate the immigration bill. I hate that he's essentially running to the right of George W. goddamn Bush on immigration. I really think it's terrible messaging to seed the idea that there is somehow a crisis on the border that is in any way different from years past. But all the same,
I remember when we had unplanned arrivals both arriving in Miami and at the border, so I'm really confused as to what crisis he's fucking talking about.
There's also just like Elon Musk has been going on and on about how this is a subversion.
All I know is I just feel like being the bitch in Mean Girls. He doesn't even go here.
Well, it's just right now, like this big thing he's on is about how the census counts population, not registered voters or citizens. And he's talking about this is, the biggest subversion of democracy in the 21st century. They've been counting it like that since 1790.
Sir, you just got here. Your country only learned to democracy within the last 15 to 20 years. I'm gonna need you to sit all the way down. And maybe
he left.
Maybe you need the ghost of Anthony Bourdain to feed you a warthog, asshole. I don't know. I said what I said. I said what I said.
But it's just, I think if they're so upset about that, then I guess keep busing migrants to blue states. Keep pulling them out of Texas and moving them to New York.
We'll figure.
Great plan.
Like I said, and then next thing you know, people will still continue to attack them in this. People like Curtis Sewa will continue to attack them in the streets and potentially severely hurt them and get them wrongfully arrested. Georgia, by passing that dumbass law, will put itself in that position. Good luck. Good luck when people start seeing their housekeeper, their lawn guy get pulled over and arrested because they had the temerity to speak Spanish in public. It's Georgia.
I mean, Georgia
going Georgia
with their, draconian voter suppression methods are already sort of stemming the tide of blueness that state was starting to possibly see. They, they were returning purple the last two.
We'll see what happens.
I mean, I certainly feel like the Democrats should not be trying to count on getting bailed out over and over and over again by black voters in Georgia.
Because they're
black
tired.
Women specifically in Georgia.
Yeah, because honestly, we're tired, and some of us are hoping that the loss of Roe will get white women to do what the fuck they need to do. But I mean, they still haven't learned that dick is abundant and of low value, especially white dick. And so they still gonna do that dumb shit. I said what I said. They're going to do it. I've never, honestly, it's frustrating, but I will not be shocked if the proportion of white women goes any higher.
I mean, if the messaging can stay on Roe and how we can codify Roe,
maybe they might pull it out.
But
it's a big ass maybe.
There's resentment over the fact that we could have done that 12 years ago. We could have done that. And it became not a priority for Obama once he got into office. And I realize he only held enough votes for cloture for the slimmest of amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
It was there.
It was there.
It may not have existed for a long time, but it existed long enough, and people have been sounding the alarm about Roe since Roe was enacted. Decided was the word I was thinking. People have been saying, the plans to dismantle and overturn Roe started the second that decision came down.
And in my evil days, I could testify that is absolutely motherfucking true.
Well, the fact that a 7 to 10 individual right that was created could have been overturned is kind of an insane thing, especially coming from justices who said Roe is precedent, and Gorsuch sitting there going, it's precedent on precedent on precedent, sitting there like he wasn't planning this whole time. We all knew. And Susan Collins sat there going, I was satisfied by his answer.
There's a lot I can say right there about satisfaction, lack thereof, and what somebody at that age, what a white woman of that age will accept from a man. But I will not embarrass myself, the state of Maine, or Senator Collins.
I have no such compunctions, but I'm not as good at crafting insults like you. So I will save it for you for the time that you are willing to unleash it.
Nah, man.
That's what he said.
That sometimes the suggestion of the insult is almost better than the actual zinger.
It's like Tony Soprano going, there's a lot I could say right now that I'm not going to say.
Mm-hmm. Because honestly, most of us have an opinion about Susan, about Lisa.
I mean, remember after the first impeachment, well, I think he learned his lesson. God, I hate
Once again, white women of a certain age, white men, Republicans, and what they are willing to accept. There's an insult in there, but my mother raised me not to be like that. I mean, I don't always listen to her, but sometimes I take her advice.
I mean, if I may speak in defense of my fellow honkies, I'm just kidding. I don't have anything in defense. I just wanted to say honkies. It's a fun word.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest.
They bleeped it out, by the way. What the last time I saw Live and Let Die on television, they blanked out honkies. What?
Most people don't even know the origin of the term. I don't even know the origin of the term.
I don't know either, but it was that scene where he's got that whole network of like cab drivers and shit who are feeding information to him. He's like, "You got a honky on your tail." I remember that line from seeing the movie, and I was on like TBS or whatever back when TBS was the thing, and it's like, "You got it on your tail." I'm like, "Are you kidding? You bleeped out honky?"
Well, it was TBS. To be fair,
Owned by Ted Turner, so maybe his personal feelings.
it was exactly. Ted got in his feefies and decided we didn't need to have that conversation. And I'm like,
gosh,
I'm like, by that time the internet existed, we could have had that conversation.
I'd say
Shaquitha Hudson didn't die for that. God rest her soul.
I'd say I miss Yaphet Kotto, but he was like a hardcore Trumper.
I don't really. We don't. No. But I'm gonna be honest. I've learned not to expect. I've learned not to be shocked and surprised when black men side with Trump.
I mean, there's a big element, not a huge element, not a majority, obviously. There's a big element in the LGBTQ community. There's gay men I've known in my life, cisgender gay men, and I think there's like this ladder of privilege where I think we've talked about the idea of not wanting to be on the bottom rung as long as you think that there's people safely on the rung below you, you're gonna feel just
and because the thing is, I'm seeing occasionally little bubblings of transphobia coming from black women, which to me boggles my mind. It boggles my mind. Because to me, transphobia and misogynoir are twins from the same mother. They're siblings they're siblings of the same mother. The same group of people. It is very easy to find someone who does not like trans people who will look at someone like Michelle Obama, Ciara, the Williams sisters, Beyonce, Meghan Markle, and say that every last one of them were not born female. Every last one. The fact that a woman in Virginia, a black woman in Virginia, was murdered because some white dude thought she was trans. A bisexual black woman of color in Staten Island had the shit beaten out of her because some white person thought she was trans. I myself, because I have to deal with certain imbalances, I have to make sure I leave the house shaving my chin, because some jackass might clock me as trans and decide that in Ron DeSantis, Florida, I don't deserve to live. So for me, seeing black women decide to throw themselves in with transphobes lets me know, bitch, they can throw my black queer ass under the bus anytime they feel comfortable.
Could it just be part of the rising tide of transphobia, lifting all boats in general? Like, maybe it's not so much that it's more black women, it's just that more people in general, so a baseline more of different...
To a degree, yes, and to a degree, no. Many of them are like, well, they're pushing trans women down because they realize where they sit and they feel they need that buffer.
So
and
maybe it's not so much the origin of the prejudices so much as their function. And I mean, there's certain useful prejudices to have in a society. Like, if we go back to, I realize it's easy to go back to the Nazis, but it's the most culturally accessible idea. But in a culture like post, post Weimar Germany, as the Nazis are rising, it's easier for people on lower rungs of the ladder to target Jews because they're the outgroup du jour. So people from other outgroups perhaps maybe feel. I'm just trying to come up with it. It's the same reason I think that white cis gay men would support Trump. You know, they're not the outgroup du jour, but it helps to join in on the subjugation of the outgroup.
I would ordinarily agree with that if I didn't spend so much time among gay men. Because it's like, on one hand, they eroticize black men. But on the other, they give them such a hard time to let them into the club. They give them such a hard time if they want to be a drag performer, but not perform in the way that everyone expects. So it's kind of hard for me to sit there and go, oh yeah, no.
I wish I knew why people, develop these prejudices.
Well,
in ways that, like, and I think it comes, it's the same way that when Trump came on the scene in 2015, and I saw many people I really thought were
Mm-hmm.
and I just was like, where was it always there?
I believe it was all. Now I have come to the conclusion that it was always there. It's just now someone came along that said, no, it's okay for you to feel this way. It's normal for you to feel this way. It would be weird if you didn't feel this way. Like right now, people are using AI manipulations of old Norman Rockwell images to remind people to give an aspirational America among among Christian nationalists. And when you consider that Norman Rockwell himself drew a white Christian America up until he realized that shit is not really where it's going anymore. That's not the T.
They want to go back to a time where everything was wonderful, like when we had that sister we didn't talk about who had to get a lobotomy, or the one son had thoughts of men, so they had to sterilize him, or the mother was on Valium, and the father punched walls and strangled his kids.
And
simpler times.
Mm-hmm. And the mother, in order to feel better, went out with the girls and rocked a school bus full of black children headed to the school to integrate it. I think that's something that we really don't talk about enough. And that's where I guess we can talk about Katie Britt a little.
Yeah.
I mean, Katie Britt, I hate to break it to y'all. She is basically the mothers of massive resistance. She would have been one of the mothers yelling at Ruby Bridges as she walked to school. She would have typewritten the letters sent to teachers, sent to administrators. She would have been that person. I mean, I watched that address, that rebuttal, and I'm going to be honest. At first, I laughed because that shit was funny. Let's be honest. That shit was funny as hell.
It's that sort of, you want to mock it because it's worthy of mockery, but it also hurts because it undermines the message of how dangerous these people are. And people have short memories, and their ideologies are malleable. As much as people think that we're set in our ways, I mean, people forget. People forget now how bad it was. And the
thing is, and the people who don't forget, the people who know that it can get worse, The people, as pedantic as the history wizard is on Instagram, most of you know who he is, the_history_wizard. As pedantic as he is, as a genocide studies scholar, he's not wrong. He really not. I mean, if I were Jewish and with means, I would have already had my passport ready, my relatives notified, Wi-Fi in a spare room set up.
I mean, not
Me
to be
visited a couple of times.
not to be alarmist, but I mean, where is safe? This rising tide of fascism is rising everywhere.
It is.
Whether
It is.
whether you are black, whether you are queer, whether you're Jewish, the world is becoming less safe for the marginalized in places like there were places that were making steady progress in the
Mm-hmm.
social. I mean, Poland is an example of such a fast regression. And then,
So,
although Lula has won in Brazil, I mean, keep in mind what Lula was boomeranging from. That can be one victory, but we also
victory
know what's going to happen at the end of
of
Lula.
Lula's term. What's going to happen after Lula?
And we've seen what happened in the Netherlands and what is also happening with Germany. And I think that the tide of fascism
And we're watching what's happening in Ghana. Black Americans were excited about going when Ghana extended its right of return. Oh, yeah. If you're black, you can exercise a right of return to Ghana. One of the fastest growing, one of the more technologically advanced, suburbanized countries in Africa. People were excited that now they're starting to pass anti-gay laws.
Which, I mean, we have the West to thank for so much of that.
Oh, yeah. The way every dollar you spend at Chick-fil-A or your more right-wing cousins gives to Focus on the Family or FRC, that's where it's going.
As much as Earthquake's improv line in Clerks 2 that you can't taste racism is a great line, there are consequences.
There are very much consequences. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I have not. Chick-fil-A was a crime of opportunity for me. Once it was out of my line of opportunity, I want to go there.
The last time I had Chick-fil-A was, gosh.
Luckily, I think it's been more than 10 years. Probably
12 years ago at a catered work event.
10 years ago. No, more than 10 years ago, actually. Yay! Well, no, not more than 10 years ago, but close to 10 years ago, because I don't work in a mall environment. Will that be something I would be doing for the rest of my life, avoiding working in a mall environment so I don't go? Yeah. Because it's easier to drive past a drive-through Chick-fil-A and go to McDonald's, which, according to official rankings, actually has a better chicken sandwich. No, really. If you have to put fast food trash in your body,
McDonald's chicken sandwich is really good.
Yes, it's surprisingly
what else
good.
is a really good chicken sandwich? If you go to Aldi and they have the frozen fried chicken breaded chicken breasts.
Oh,
you bake. There's a little tiny bit of like pepper, but not a lot. But
and Aldi is one of those things that I've often said, if I have to go into exile in the UK, I will be fine because them bitches got Aldi.
Because Aldi's the one without the Nazi past, right? It's Trader Joe's that has the Nazi, because they were split off from. There was the
something like that.
There was like
one's
the non-Nazi side,
one's not. All I know is England's got Aldi.
But here's what I'm saying: is it's in a red bag. You can get a frozen thing of breaded chicken breast. You bake that up, and you get some of like you toast up in your toaster oven some Texas toast, and then you put that chicken breast in between that with a little bit, and you basically make a chicken parm sandwich with Texas toast. That shit is the best. That is the best.
Noted. Because I mean, I love Aldi. One of the only things me and my mom can speak about in civility is Aldi. Oh yeah, my mom's basically doesn't think I'm a Christian anymore because I voted Democrat.
Oh,
yeah, bitch.
I'm Presbyterian, which basically means that I'm a step away from being an atheist.
Well, here's the thing. My parents have not formally left the Southern Baptist Church. I'm this close to. I'm going to write like some long dissertation to officially end my membership in the Southern Baptist Church, and yes, I will be citing abuse cases.
Yeah, it's the kid diddling. It's all the kid diddling.
It's the kid diddling. I'm sorry, it's the kid diddling, and the fact you won't have an honest, mature conversation about race, about your racist past. It's a lot of shit. I mean, honestly, I believe that writing a long ass letter, and now that the pastor that accepted me for being bisexual is no longer has died, I feel clear now. Oh no, I already cried about it.
But I mean, to go back to the serious issue about chicken sandwiches, there is a Popeyes near our Firestone, and through various misfortunes, I have had to get work done at Firestone many times.
I'm sorry.
Last year,
but Popeyes though,
because I'm apparently allergic to having money. And, like,
we all are.
And fucking Popeyes, I went over there the last time, and I go and I order, and I went to get some chicken fingers, and they're like, well, okay, do you want, regular chicken fingers, or do you want like spicy chicken fingers? And I'm thinking it's like 10 in the morning. They had just opened. Well, they opened at 10:15. They were supposed to open at 10, but they opened at 10:15. So,
sounds like they bust in some people from Philly. I'm here for it.
So. That said, like, I don't know if I want spicy this early in the morning. And the counter lady is like, "How about I put one spicy one in there for you?" So I'm like, sure. That sounds good. So
I'm sorry, it's giving Philly. Philly,
which is hilarious because I am 3 hours from Philly.
I know, but it's still giving Philly.
But then again, it is right up 611. So, I mean, you could drive down that road and just hit Philly after many hours. But anyway, so I go and I sit down and I start with the spicy chicken finger, and I'm like, I get there like, this isn't spicy. Why would you call it that? It's just mildly less mild. And I'm like, are there real spicy ones? And they didn't think I could handle it, and they thought they were being like cute with me, or is this just like, I'm sorry, but if you're going to call something spicy, it's got to be spicy. It's like when you go to Taco Bell and they have their hottest flavor and you eat it and like, I'm sorry, no, if I get something that's supposedly the hottest thing you have on the menu, it should at least make my forehead red. This is just like, okay, you basically have just like,
okay, Guy Fieri.
I'm just saying, I want the hottest thing on the menu. If it's advertised as hot, I want it to make me like hurt.
Okay, masochist. But I actually live like walking distance from a Popeyes. And here's the thing. I have the weird Popeyes. I have a Popeyes next to a Popeyes.
What? How?
I think it's a franchise and they bought the extra one. What it is they converted one of the Popeyes into like the catering one. The catering / Uber Eats / Postmates one, and then the regular one. Oh yeah. Oh, they do not play. I have only, the thing is, it's in walking distance. Only ate there once.
If I could have the Popeyes chicken fingers with Arby's seasoned fries, that would be sort of my perfect basket.
Huh. You know what though? No, but the Arby's is too far. They don't want us to have that kind of. They do not want us to experience that level of.
But they have the meats.
They do have the meats.
God, I friggin' love Arby's.
I love their curly fries and their sliders.
Their curly fries are the best. I've got a bag of them in the freezer right now.
I have never been desperate enough to put the curly fries in the freezer.
Well, I mean, it's I bought it at the Weiss, and it's a bag of them, and I'm gonna air fry them at some point.
Noted. I never thought of bringing fries back to life with the air fryer. I have an air fryer.
These are I bought like they sell. Do they not in Florida? Do they not have like frozen Arby's fries at the grocery store?
I've never looked for them. I know we have.
So amazing.
I know we have frozen Checkers fries.
Fine, but they're not Arby's curly fries. Oh no.
You're right. They not.
You need to go into the frozen section where they have the fries.
Is this a Wegmans thing?
It's a Weiss, but I'm sure Wegmans has it too.
We don't remember. We don't got Wegmans or Weiss,
but you do have Wawa. So I mean,
Oh yeah. I mean, Lord knows, they're sick of me.
But the point is, you need to get those Arby's curly fries from the frozen section, air fry them up, and you will be in heaven.
Noted.
Yes.
Because I'm a whore for fries.
I mean, who isn't?
I mean, honestly,
that can be the truly uniting political factor.
Facts! Honestly, give us a fries. Every so often someone on Twitter comes up with an idea such as, we should have a tax break for reading. I'm like, tax breaks for reading? Bitch. The way Barnes and Noble and my local library would be so sick of my ass.
That is such discrimination against my ADHD ass.
Maybe they might be able to count your Audible. That
would be great.
Maybe just listen. Honestly, Governor Shapiro, somebody, if you listening.
Hey, Governor Shapiro is about to buy a shitload of medical debt and forgive it for a lot of Pennsylvanians.
God! That man, I feel like I'm giving some sort of advice to a girlfriend. You better hold on to that man. Oh, he's a good man. You better hold on to that man.
If he knows what's good for him, he will stay the governor for an additional term before trying to run for president.
That part. He needs to get y'all right and tight before moving on. So honestly, but y'all better hold on to that man.
When I-95 collapsed, I was like, oh, that man's gonna be president someday. He fucking showed up and was just like, and like fucking Gandalf, just like, you shall once again pass, and just all of a sudden everything.
I'm sorry. That's it. Don't make me do Shapiro Harris. Don't make me do it, because I'm gonna do it. Don't make me, because
I think with Harris, her sort of rising profile in the last couple of months is indicating that she really is going to try to go for it in 2028 if Biden.
Honestly, a Shapiro Harris ticket that could excite some motherfuckers.
I imagine
some motherfuckers might be down for that.
I imagine it would be Harris Shapiro. I imagine.
Yeah, Harris Shapiro, but still, a Harris Shapiro ticket, that people would get excited about that shit.
I wonder, I know Pete Buttigieg has ambitions and he wants.
Yeah, God love Pete, but honestly, Governor Shapiro though.
Yeah,
I love Pete, but Governor Shapiro though.
Yeah, there's and it goes.
I mean, I turned into that meme of looking at the the girl walking down the street while I'm holding hands. Governor Shapiro.
And to be clear, I'm not like sort of turning Shapiro into some like sort of hero worshiper thing, like this man will save us, and then only to end up being bitterly disappointed when he turns into a standard Democrat. It's more the fact that I think he's an effective leader who can get elected, and
he's an effective standard Democrat. That's what you're trying to say.
And you need the best you can hope for getting a president is someone who can get elected, and then the rest you do is coalition building and making sure
Mm-hmm.
that the down ballot people can put the pressure, and that the other primary opponents can pull the candidate who wins to the left.
And honestly, listen, the fact that that is actually something realistic for the Democratic Party is better than what the Republicans got going on right now, as they metamorphose into becoming his purse or third testicle.
Well, I mean, he's assimilating the RNC into his legal defense fund, basically. And I have to wonder if that will be the reason, if the Democrats pull it off and win, will it be because of anything the Democrats did, or will it because Trump is cannibalizing the Republican Party and drying up their fundraising?
Damn. That is a wonderful
I mean,
wonderful question.
he's
That's
drying up their fundraising like crazy. I mean, Biden.
yeah. If the Democrats win and if they pull off a trifecta, that's a question that I think would be fair to ask. No one will like it, but it's a question.
And if they win for that reason, will they actually realize that's the reason, or will they think everything we've been doing this whole time is the reason we've won, and not?
You know what the answer is to that already.
Yeah,
they're going to think it's because of something they actually did, not because the Republicans have fully become the orange-skinned, small-dicked, flax-haired
mushroom.
Don't ruin ye ancient internet lore for me like this. Not like this. Not like this.
Did I ever tell you I don't like that movie?
That I didn't anticipate that.
It's one of those things, like, I guess it's like, I'm not trying to be one of those people who's doing hot take. It's just that the Wachowskis are like way too comfortable with civilian casualties in their movies, and not in any way like even paying lip service to the fact, like not even having a character says like, "There's the only way we can do this. We can't avoid it." These, I wish there were some other way, but this is the only thing we can do. Like they just
that is a legit argument that I'm willing to hear out.
They have one passing line where someone says the agent can go into anybody, and that's it. One little passing line.
I think they think that that's gonna cover it, but that's just
and it's not. It's fucking
cheap.
not. When they slaughter that lobby full of cops, you're just thinking to yourself, these are people who were asleep at part of a simulation, and they're dying for real. Like, did you try anything else before this?
Like, y'all hacking into all sorts of shit. Y'all couldn't think maybe hack two of them to be on your side and then go and then shove them in a closet, which would actually be funny.
Or even a 3-minute scene where, like, we've tried everything, we've gamed it out. We can't do tranquilizers. We can't immobilize. We can't, we can't take them prisoner. We can't do anything, because no matter what we do, if they are alive, an agent can take them, and it's them or the whole world.
Yeah, if they'd have said, if they'd have had one wonderful scene where Neo goes, "Why are we killing so many civilians?" And Morpheus goes, "I was waiting for you to ask that question. We tried to avoid casualties once. We tried gas, darts, hacking, straight brute force hacking. None of it worked."
Yeah. So that's why.
And if they'd have just thrown that scene in there, mwah. And like I said, and Keanu Reeves would have, and they would have been able to carry that shit off without a thought. Ladies, you could have done it. You could have done it.
That's why I think out of all the movies, the fourth one is the best one. It's because it lacks the flaw of the first, the big flaw. And it's not to say I think that's a bad movie.
That's true. Very few people do die in that one.
Yeah, I mean it, and the ones who do are like being hacked by what's his face, Neil Patrick Harris. Like that scene where everybody's jumping out the windows to try to slow
Mhm.
down the simulation. Like, that was incredible. That was an incredible
It was
scene.
a lot.
Like, that really, it was a creative use of, like, they're basically trying to throw so much data it slows down the simulation. And it was this sort of horrifying, the first movie was pre 9/11, so you wouldn't, but like this, I never expected something 20 years after 9/11 to so effectively use 9/11 imagery without heavy handing it.
Mm-hmm. Because there is an art to that.
Yeah. I mean, what's funny is that Oliver Stone's World Trade Center was like his most restrained movie, which is like, you don't expect that.
That's saying a lot.
It was such a small scale, like,
It
insular,
was.
claustrophobic movie. And
I think that's probably. And the thing is, big Hollywood directors occasionally they love to do the cloistered 3 men in a room movie just to prove that they can. Just to be like, listen, I'm an auteur. I know what I'm doing. Here's 3 men in a room.
But to especially take a movie about 9/11 and make it a 3 Men in a Room movie. That takes special
That is skill.
I did not think that Oliver Stone possesses, because I have seen his other movies.
Like I said, I'm waiting for has Christopher Nolan done a 3 Men in the Room movie yet?
I mean,
I'm waiting
has
for
a
it.
very small cast.
Yeah,
it's
but
really just, there's a lot of locations, but it's really just the three characters. I didn't like that movie, by the way, but
Oppenheimer, I was not excited about it. To me, I'm gonna be honest.
I was talking about, it was his Following, the black and white movie about the safecracker. For like 1998, he did it. He did this black and white. It was his first movie. It was like, there wasn't any stars in it or anything. It was just like this, like, micro budget movie about a safecracker. Maybe not a safecracker, but like a con artist kind of thing. It's been a while since I've seen it. I didn't like it, but it's basically just three characters for the whole movie.
But that's him starting out.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see him do his 3 Men in a Room movie now.
In my view, his best movie is Dunkirk. I don't know if that. I couldn't tell if that was like, you're not serious, are you? Or
no, but I'm like, yeah, but it's not a 3 Men in a Room movie.
No, it's not. I'm just, we're just thinking about.
I mean,
a lot, but you can tell a director's skill when they're doing a movie that is basically primarily three characters. I mean, we just all saw The Holdovers, and that was for more than half of its runtime, I think, just three characters. Maybe not for the whole movie, and they see a lot of ancillary characters along the way. There's a bit of a travelogue element to it.
Yeah, and one of the three characters in a room got an Oscar.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for two of them, but I'm very, very happy at Divine's Oscar, especially. I mean, I think Dominic Sessa should have been nominated for supporting actor in place of Robert De Niro. I love Robert De Niro, but there's not much to his role in Killers of the Flower Moon. That's a movie.
I'm just over the fact that I don't know if it was personal how they nominated Killers of the Flower Moon for all them goddamn Oscars, and then just said no bit.
That's like the third time it's happened to him too.
And I think it's personal, and I'm just kind of pissed that the Academy decided to let Lily Gladstone be part of that after doing all this shit. And I'm just like, right now, I'm like, let's go over for Indigenous film Twitter, because they mad as hell and in they feelings, and as a Black woman, I 100% understand.
I think what pissed me off the most was not her losing, but about the Monday morning quarterbacking from places like Variety saying that she should have gone for supporting. No, fuck you.
Fuck you.
Fuck you. She's not supporting. Don't make this out to be a tactical error on her part. Fuck you. She was the female lead of the fucking
of the
movie.
film.
Supporting actress. I don't care if she had less screen time than him. Fucking, and I realize this has been said a lot, but it needs to be said again. Anthony Hopkins won Best Leading Actor for 18 goddamn minutes on screen during Silence of the Lambs. I mean, you could honestly make this a tactical error about anything. And I know that there's sometimes a little bit of wiggle room in between what counts as support and what counts as leading. And sometimes you could say, like, maybe there isn't a leading actress in the movie, but it's bullshit. She was the leading actress. She was the heart and soul of the movie.
Of that movie.
And, like, I will say, like, saying, oh, it was like she should have just gone up for supporting actress. Well, then she would have lost to Devine.
She really would have, and no one would have had a good time.
Or she would have won and beat Devine. And in either way, both of them deserve something. And this isn't to take away from Emma Stone, because I don't think this is one of those things that Emma Stone didn't deserve it, but Lily did. I just think it's a matter of the fact that Lily, I'm glad that several good performances were nominated. I think that Lily has a great future. And I also think that if she had gone for supporting actress, then she would be a supporting actress in several future projects. But now she has a lead lined up.
And for me, I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be lazy. I'm just glad that it did not put a Black actress against an Indigenous actress, because I said what I said.
There's
it puts it back on the onus back on the Academy for them to sit with themselves and realize that maybe the infrastructure of Hollywood, as Cord Jefferson has suggested, it needs reworking. We need
the finance bros need to get out of this system.
All of that.
And I realize
finance bros are ruining everything from airlines and airplane companies. Yeah, Boeing, we looking at you.
Yeah, if you're wondering, the Boeing whistleblower who was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound was murdered by DEI.
Self-inflicted.
Yeah.
Self-inflicted.
They were blaming someone asshole on Fox News was blaming the wheel falling off on DEI hires. How the fuck do you manage that? It's finance bros cannibalizing these companies.
They don't want to talk about finance bros because finance bros pay their bills.
And we did an episode of this a year ago when we talked about the collapse of SVB, and we talked about Norfolk Southern, and how it's very clear that these companies,
and how the fact that David Zaslav is still alive.
Fucking asshole. I guess it is that time. Yes, David Zaslav is still alive, and we will see you all next week. Good night, everybody.
Night.